Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Delves for Season 3, a complete guide on them. Now I've already done guides on which Delves are the easiest to run and done guides on Brann builds, but this is kind of an overall guide for the season, how everything works, etc., plus rewards and mounts. So the first thing you want to do is unlock Delver'S journey. This will require you to head to the purple marker questline with Brann Bronzebeard in the Delver'S guild. It's pretty straightforward from there. This is also where you'll pick up your main story questline from Brann Bronzebeard for Delves. Now the main story for Delves this season begins with Repossessed and will reward you the Delver'S Mana-Skimmer, which you'll be able to upgrade with schematic options from the various vendors and achievements with your Delver'S journey progress. The main story will also unlock a new Delve challenge, this time against a new enemy. So similar to the bosses that we've had in the previous seasons, this will be an optional boss for additional challenge and transmogs and other interesting items. This is Kiveza, who is also the rare mob that will occasionally spawn in your Delves. Something important to mention is obtaining the disc belt. The disc belt is a 701 belt that you can equip to any of your characters, and you can now upgrade fully in a single day by simply completing Delves. It will take 5 Delves in total to fully upgrade the belt to 701, but it's honestly, or 3 Delves, sorry, but it's honestly really well worth it, as replacing a 701 belt is pretty hard to do. So make sure you've done that if you did not do it during the initial release of the overcharged system. Please take note that you can complete all of these quests within the same day, so the moment you hand in one of your quests to upgrade the belt, you can simply go and take the next one, which is pretty good. Weekly quests have returned. You will have a Delve weekly that will pop up every second week, and every time you clear a Delve, you will get a Delver's Curio, which will give you a bonus towards your account-wide progress for the Delver's journey, which you'll definitely need considering the importance of the Delver's journey within this season. So make sure that you grab that as well. The Delver's journey has been revamped to make things more interesting. On top of that, the last thing I want to mention before we get into the nitty-gritty is Reshiram upgrades. The second upgrade of the Reshiram, Secret of the Depths, is very crucial as it unlocks a new functionality for bountiful Delves that will be crucial towards your progress. It also unlocks Flicker Gates, which are a new feature to obtain more rewards. This season has new curios for Brann. These are obtained from both regular and bountiful Delves, and Brann has had more levels added in. Remember, his overall level is super crucial because it enables him to do more damage and have more health, and Brann's level is directly helpful towards your progress. Delve tier basics to understand: you have to re-unlock your tiers from last season. You only have the ability to start at tier 4, so unfortunately even if you're doing tier 11s like myself, you have to work your way back up there at the start of the season. It's important not to use your bountiful keys until you hit around about tier 8 onwards, as you will just be reducing the chance of high level rewards from both your weekly vault and your bountiful delves that you complete. When it comes to bountiful delves, you obviously obtain additional gear rewards once you complete the delve. Tier 8 and onwards will offer you the highest reward during the delve, but tier 11 will offer you the highest weekly reward, being a heroic piece of item. It's important to take note that Delver's Bounty is now only available once you have hit rank 2 in your Delver's Renown. Delve changes are abundant. All the water has been removed from the water delves, which is probably the most remarkable change, but as always there has been new storylines that have been added in with the new Ethereal enemy types, and on top of that as well, new delve objectives have been added in to the previous delves and into the new one. Delves you've done before will have completely revamped storylines and additional story variants, and the bosses themselves will also have been changed So it's important for you to really give it a go and basically try your best to get yourself, just enjoy the changes. The bosses themselves have been tuned a little bit, but also are now popping up in different delves than they were before. So if you were struggling with a specific boss on a specific story variant, note that that will still be the case, but that you may encounter that boss now in other delves, which could make things spicier or harder or easier. Treasures have also been slightly changed. Obviously, if you're gathering a treasure for the first time, you will still get EXP for Brann, but remember the new delve will have new treasures, as well as new items, and we've had some slight changes to that EXP drop rate. So for players who are reopening treasures, you won't always have the same changes. The powers and boons for the delves have also been revamped, a lot of them featuring the curios from the previous season. So whereas before you used to have curios from season 1, now a lot of the powers and boons represent curios from season 2. Two major new features are flicker gates. Flicker gates are special little portals that mainly drop you additional rewards at the end, but also have a chance to spawn ethereal routing stations and also have a chance to spawn the Delve Nemesis boss for the season. Ethereal routing stages are a bountiful delve only option. They are guaranteed to spawn in every bountiful delve, and they will completely rework your delve. You will enter them and get a completely new objective, a completely redefined objective. So once you enter the ethereal routing station, you are essentially doing a different delve, and most of these are far faster than the traditional delves. Like literally they are ridiculously quick. I've done a couple of them, and honestly the time they save is tremendous. I can't imagine they won't get nerfed unless Blizzard just don't care, which is fine. So the standard delve rewards that you'll get are pretty straightforward. You'll get a curio, you'll get your weekly archive, you'll get gear, you'll get some crests, and just in general you'll get some Delver's bounty progress. But generally speaking, your main thing with the regular delves is more just to kind of get going, to push through your regular tiers until you get to the point where you can access tier 8 and thus improve your bountiful delve rewards. When it comes to bountiful delves, you'll be greeted with upgraded gear and upgraded curios. This will be how you unlock green, blue, and purple rank curios, as well as higher tier crests than you would find on your standard delve. This is also the best way to farm renown for your Delver's journey, and you'll get a radiant echo with every completion as well, which will help you to earn more tickets. Every time you complete a delve, you will get a thread for your Reshi wrap, whether it's bountiful or standard, and you will also obtain on top of that a spark for your first bountiful delve completion. When it comes to some tips for delves, highly suggest you use the loot radar to show markers for special treasures. I suggest that you use buffs when entering hardcore raids to speed up, or delves to speed up your time. Remember, you can have both Brann's food buff and a separate food buff at the same time, as well as a flask, so this can make your life a lot easier. Please remember to use environmental damage where possible, mushrooms and exploding spores and fungal folly, artillery and dark magic in the special Nerubian style ones, and basically just to keep an eye out for any kind of different triggers, using branch traps, and basically giving yourself some big extra damage. When you are doing bountiful delves, you will need Coffer keys. These drop from pinnacle caches, which are your weekly chests that you get from completing weekly world events, weekly quests, things like, for example, completing the various weekly events, radiant caches, faction caches, or will give you renowned Coffer keys up to a certain limit. I think it's 5 per week. Once you've reached that, you can then grab yourself some more through radiant echoes. Now in terms of rewards, it's pretty interesting for this season. Renault Jackson will continue to sell you transmog gear as well as schematics for both your Delver's Dirigible and your Mana-Skimmer, depending on your journey rank that you've achieved throughout the season. You then also have the rewards from our good friend the Murloc. Here you can actually buy the overcharged Delve mount if you did not get it, which is pretty cool. And on top of that as well, you can grab yourself more schematics. You You can also grab yourself some Coffer keys depending on your rank. And on top of that as well, you can grab yourself some useful items to help you in Delves. These are also obviously super duper important, as they will enable you being able to improve your performance. There's also a ton of transmog, which is pretty interesting. And aside from that, that is pretty much it. So realistically, the vendors have some really cool stuff. Highly suggest you check it out. This will cost you undercoins, which is a currency that you earn from completing bountiful delves throughout the season. So these are carried over basically every single time you complete your delves. So you should be able to rack up quite a few of these. This season there's the faction race. The faction race basically will be able to fly a flag and unlock a special customization option for your Delver'S dirigible, which was the first mount that we obtained during the season. Well, during the expansion. This is an entirely cosmetic thing, so beyond that there is no other rewards. But obviously if you're someone who is super into everything, it's an added incentive into running Delves. Delve messages are also a new system that have been added in, similar to the message system in like a Dark Souls game, where you're able to leave random messages on the floor. This will function the same way, except it will summon a little holographic of a famous character in World of Warcraft who will say a tagline. It's a pretty fun little neat thing. It's not anything major, but it's just something cool to note. Obviously one of the major rewards of Delves is Delver gear. You get different rewards, one for actually finishing the delve at a certain level, one for finishing the delve at a certain level while it's bountiful, and one for finishing the delve for your weekly chest. You can get all the way up to hero level gear with this and gilded crests, so it is basically able to hit the second highest gear level in World of Warcraft. The Delver'S journey has also been revamped. You will get additional rewards for every single stage and unlock more vendor items as we discussed. The most important level will be level 2, where you unlock the ability to earn Delver'S bounty maps, which will give you additional drops from your delves and your bountiful delves, which players are definitely going to want to do. After that, everything is mainly cosmetic, but there are a couple boosts and buffs along the way, especially since you can use them to buy consumables and other valuable items. And that's pretty much it. The last thing to mention is some of the achievements. There are notable achievements for finishing all the delve achievements, which will enable you to grab yourself a mount. But on top of that as well, you are also able to finish some pretty cool achievements just for bragging rights. Remember as well, you will get feats of strength based on the level of delves that you've done at a bountiful level during the course of the season. And new achievements have been added for this new features. But that's it from me. I hope this has given you everything you need to know. Let me know if you need any more help, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye.